Anyway, so the Alternative to What podcast is where I chat with my lovely friend Jen in South Korea. It's 7 a.m. here, as I just mentioned. It's like 9 p.m. there. We usually do this an hour earlier, but because of one of our topics today, daylight savings time, we forgot, or I forgot. I'm not going to say it was Jen, it was me. I forgot that I would have to adjust my schedule for an hour, so I got up a whole extra hour early. And it's already early, but that's fine. I have never had a huge problem in the mornings. So yeah, daylight savings time. We're going a little late, but we're still on it. I not to spend too much time talking about hair at the top of the episode, but I grew up not getting a lot of haircuts. My mom was super thrifty, and she never really cut my hair either. She would just cut my bangs, so I never really had hairstyles until I became a teenager, and I was like, whoa, you can just go and like tell people what you want to do with your hair, and they'll do it for you. I didn't think I was gonna like the perm. I'm not gonna lie, but it's pretty cute.
Thanks. This isn't exactly what I wanted, but it makes sense because we're hot off the press right now. So give it like 2 weeks, three
My
weeks, and
my camera. This one's wider than what I'm used to. I make that. I don't know if I make it clear, but I definitely don't say she's from South Korea. She's South Korean. I'm like, she currently resides there.
yeah, I am not of Korean descent. Just want to make sure that our listeners, viewers, audience know that point.
It is important to make that clear. I'm sorry, I never did a better job of that for you. Okay,
Well, I
so
mean,
yeah, she is fully American, currently resides in South Korea for work, and we met in Texas, where I still live. We met in Houston, though, which is not where I still live. All right, so off the top today, we are going to talk about doom eating, the doom eating trend of 2020, which I personally partook in, and I know a lot of creators that I subscribed to said that they kind of did the same. They just kind of all ate whatever they wanted to in 2020 because we all thought we were going to die. Um, and how me and Jen personally both started kind of new health journeys for this year, and how hers includes physical activity and mine probably never will.
I would
um,
say we both had our own physical activity. Yours involved sitting down and eating more, and the mine involved not eating as much and moving around more.
you made it sound
Moving
so
your
bad.
jaw is a kind of physical activity, isn't it?
Yeah. So other than the health journeys for both of us, we're gonna talk some more, just a little bit about daylight savings time and how maybe we should get rid of it. Maybe we should switch to standard time. Um, and it wouldn't be March without St. Patrick's Day, and it is St. Patrick's Day, if I'm not mistaken. I've never really been a huge like go out and celebrate it person, so it's not like super marked on my calendar. But yeah, we're gonna talk about St. Patrick's Day, which is another fun kind of cultural difference. Um, and yeah, so with the daylight savings time thing, I had something pulled up because Jen, my lovely, lovely guest, said she did not know, she hadn't heard anything about like daylight savings time being bad for you. And I have been on hearing stuff like this for the past couple of years. I think this other podcast, this other podcast, it's my favorite podcast. It's daily. It's called the Daily Zeitgeist. No relation to Gemini Geist, my Twitch channel. But for years they have been looking into the research that daylight savings time isn't really that great for you. And Jen, y'all on standard time in South Korea? How does that work? Just like
Yeah, like whatever the time zone is, and it just stays that way all year round. I don't. Yeah, like the only thing I'm ever paying attention to is what the time is over in the States, because you guys do that time daylight savings thing, and here they don't do that.
I
So
like how you say you guys, like we have any control over it. It's fully the people that are in charge of governing us.
like they just keep it all the same too. Like there are some places that just don't do it, even though everybody else is
Yes,
doing it.
that's what I was just saying. There are some First Nations places, places here that don't observe it. There are, I think it's like Arizona or Nevada somewhere. They don't recognize it. But anyway, where I am, we recognize it. We uh, we fall back. and spring forward here and twice a year, and I have always kind of felt personally victimized by daylight savings time because you either lose an hour or gain an hour of sleep, but it always felt like a bigger deal. Like to me, I felt like it affected my mood for a matter of like weeks to months, as opposed to just like 1 week or a day or like however. Like I would find myself, and it's I guess it could kind of be like related to like seasonal affective disorder, but I don't really feel like I suffer from that. I feel like I suffer from daylight savings time disorder because whenever I go out of shift for that 1 hour, I just feel like everything is wrong. I can't get my schedule back to where I want it to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway, to the actual research, this is from Psychology Today. And it's the title of it is Five Deadly Reasons Why Daylight Savings Time is Bad for You. So that's a little fear mongery, but so they basically go off of the circadian rhythm and how like all humans have a circadian rhythm, and daylight savings. So interrupting that, losing or gaining an hour twice a year actually is like giving us jet lag twice a year. And while some people handle it pretty well, other people like myself tend to have some bigger problems. So, the academy, which I don't know which academy they're talking about, I apologize, but Psychology Today, it says the academy is issuing a 2020 position paper stating half a dozen student studies have found a 5 to 15% increased risk of having a heart attack during these days after shifting to daylight savings time, and a 24% increase alone on the day after the switch. And they are saying it's just like it's super preventable. So all of the stress, and just like just being jet lagged like twice a year can just make us unhealthy. And for that, like even a small window of time, what if this has been such a stressful year for you and you have a bad heart and we switch to daylight savings time and that is enough to like give you a heart attack, you know what I mean?
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
So, and that apparently does like happen to people. So, it apparently has adverse effects on sleep, wakefulness, mood, and optimal health for 5 to 7 days. And like I said, for me, it always felt like way longer. Cardiac and stroke risks may last longer. Um, these effects are most noticeable in individuals who enter the change with insufficient sleep to begin with, which is I have ADHD and OCD and bipolar disorder, so my sleep has never really been where it's supposed to be. And I think that a lot of people can relate even without mental illnesses. It's really hard to get sleep in the modern age. So yeah, I and other people are wanting for there to just be a switch back to standard time, because it's a standard time comports closely to the sun's natural time, whereas daylight savings time essentially puts us in another time zone without changing the day-night cycle. So yeah, it's just giving us jet lag. This misalignment asks the circadian clock to change our physiological rhythms and do things at times that are not biologically in step. As a result, many people suffer when we change the clock backwards or forwards. So yeah, just to kind of wrap up that small topic, daylight savings time sucks. Let's switch to standard time. It's a lot. Just look it up. Like really haven't gone into. I've only barely scratched the surface of like the research, and because like more people commit suicide, there's car accidents, all of like the cardiovascular stuff I was talking about. So yeah, just something to think about. We don't have to listen to the overlords who say that we have to change the time twice a year.